All right. Well, sorry about that. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone? And grab a drink of my favorite beverage. It used to really annoy me when people on YouTube would be like, oh, let me grab a drink. Never really quite understood it until I started streaming. And your voice gets, your throat, your voice gets a little dry. It's crazy. So, 1 second. All right, there we go. That was amazing. All right, I'm going to check in on the chat real quick, see how chat's doing. Morning, chat. I used to follow the streamer every morning, and he would call the chat Chad. So if you know what that means, hit me up. Let me know that you know what it means. All right. Morning, chat. Oh, chat. All right. My name is Darkpool Algo, and I wanted to say thanks for joining me this morning for this Watchlist building session. Today we're going to find some stocks that have a high probability of making a move today and this week. We'll be using the Smart Money, Darkpool, and FlowTrade algorithm software that's provided over by those fine folks at FlowTrade. If you haven't tried it yet, you can get a free trial, see how it can help you take your trading to the next level. It can enhance an existing strategy, and you can even learn a new one. So there's a free trial link in the description as well. I push this link everywhere. It's a software I believe that can really help change people's lives. Give it a try. All right. So today should be an interesting day with the big market drop on Monday and a small little bounce yesterday after gapping down. We're going to be patient today and wait for the next direction basically to reveal itself, right? Also, with continued volatility, and as long as the VIX holds above 20, it's going to be kind of volatile, right? Looking at ES, we've got a 1 hour squeeze. NQ, there's a 1 and 2 hour squeezes that can help guide price. The focus list that I have, I was just getting that finished up. There's a couple that I want to look at. ENPH, 10B, Stitch Fix, Palantir, PLTR, Etsy, Tesla, Square, and NVIDIA. What was the other one? I had it written down here. Etsy, Tesla, Square. Home. Home. There was a vote about not selling. I'll have to find the news on it, but that one has a pretty good potential to move simply because massive, we hit this 44 range, came back down, formed this little bull flag that we broke out in the last couple of days. I'd really like this to get back up to previous highs around 38, right? Those options are nice and juicy, super juicy options, right? All right, let me just do one more thing here real quick over on my other screen because I don't need a whole bunch of drama happening. Just make sure that I've got all this set. All right, and ooh, that's really going to screw up my lighting, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Fix the lighting. There we go. All right. Check in on Twitter real quick. Oh, good morning. Hey, Michael. Thundercat, what's up? CPI inflation report comes out today, too. Yes, it does. I'm not sure what time that comes out, but it will definitely shape the market. Checking, excuse me. Checking in on Twitter, giving everybody a chance there to see if. Nope, nobody. Oh, Lemonade. All right. So that was for Theta Warrior. No. All right. So we want to add JP Morgan to our list. All right. Let me just throw that on there. JP Morgan. All right. Let's just do JP Morgan first. I like to take requests first. Feel like that'll keep you guys coming back. All right, looking at JP Morgan. Just make just some settings here real quick. I did start an introductory video educational series yesterday. I'm going to go through how to set up my charts, how to look at the basic stuff that I do, and go into the FlowTrade backend system so I don't have to repeat myself every morning. Yeah, I think it'll be great. All right, looking at JP Morgan, the 1 minute we had profit taking, net selling yesterday. We bounced off this block, normal block trade, that came in on the 6th at 158. So we've got this little block trade range that we may trade within. The algos are selling. No dark pools to look at. So what I'm talking about here is looking at 1 minute chart. There's this block trade level that came in right here. Price action bounced off of. It created a little bit of a divergence at the end of the day between the algo and price action. I look for this divergence to play out before. I look for the data to reset in the morning. The same thing with the 15-minute. We've got, I'm just going to throw these up for you. This block range from 158 to 161. Price is currently held at 161 level, or 158 level. Below that, we've got 157 as another block trade. So potential support. The algo is currently pointed down, so they're selling. If we break 157, I don't have any block trades to provide support below that within the last 10 days. What we'd like to see happen is this W pattern that you see here on the 1 minute chart, right? This wrong tool. This Wu-Tang pattern setting up, right? Down, up, down, and then we want the last one to go blast off, right? We want that to continue. If that happens, it should curl that algo back up for continued buying back up to the previous 161. If we break 158, we've got one other block trade that'll come in and provide support at 157.22. A break of that, and I'm sure there's some, let's see, not to 155. So there's a $2 drop or a $3 raise. Pulling it up on the old charts. JPM. I don't know if anybody catched my video series that I put out last night. I went over some of the indicators that you see on my chart, specifically this. Where's it at? Oh, over here. Just 1 second. It's my second chart. All right, looking at JPM, we'll get to it. Neutral, decreasing MACD, volumes neutral and decreasing. RSI is starting to turn over. We're not in a Bollinger Band squeeze. We did come back and test the 8 EMA for support. We're above. We do have positive stacked EMAs, the 8, the 21, 34. We're also on top of the 50 and the 200. Positive VWAP, which means we held VWAP. We're within 94% of our 52-week high. We've got a 2-day, 3-day squeeze. The 2-day is a light blue histogram, which looks good. Feels like that daily squeeze may have just fired off. Looking at a $3 ATR. This is one of the indicators that I went over in that educational series. Check it out. I think it's video 2, lower indicators. We go into this this B4 indicator. It's a combination of MACD, Bollinger Bands, stochastics, and RSI. Pretty nice indicator. Overnight, we sold off, we came down, we found support at that 158.06 level. I believe that's that block trade level, right? 158.07 is the block level. We bounced at 158.06, right? Yeah, so the block levels provided support overnight. Looking at the 4-hour, we've got potential fade to the 34 EMA right at that 157 level. 157.40, 157.30 is the point for that. That's the 34 EMA. That's also previous highs. Let me just throw this line up here. So that would go from this one. So this one here. Yeah. Looking at fib levels on the 4-hour. See if we have any confluence. Yeah, fib 618 retrace is down at the 34 EMA right at 156. So back to what we had mentioned with the algo, if we do continue to sell off, we have support at the 34 EMA, which is at 150. I don't like how it kind of jinked me out of it. It didn't snap to the right candle. 157. Or just remove it and maybe put it back on there. Go from here. Nope. What did I say? 157. Yeah, 157.41 is the 30 or the 21 EMA. Below that, we've got 156 at the 34 EMA, and below that, we've got 154 is the 50-day. So if we got down to the 50-day, I would look for a buy the dip opportunity for into next week. Currently, our MACD is curling down, so we're looking to cross over negatively on the 4-hour, bringing it down to the 15-minute chart. I don't know what this just happened. Gosh, I love these Hulk candles. All right, so there's a $2 Hulk candle. 1, 2, 3. Obviously, we've got a let me just throw some lines up here. We've got some downtrend support or resistance that we ran into. Right. Break that. We've got the 200 SMA on the 15-minute coming in at 160. We're currently trading at 160, which is awesome. Let me just jump back over here and look at this again. So we're trading at 160 for potential move upwards. Just grab the old extension. We'll go from here. So 161 is going to be confluence resistance for a move to 164. All right, we broke over that downtrend, that downward trend line resistance. Looks like we're heading up to the 200 SMA on the 15-minute chart. So price target 160. Break a 160. We close above 160. We could look for a move to 161. Just grab one more thing here. All right, I like that. So 161.35 is going to be the next level of resistance. We just broke the 200 SMA. So 160 is the point. 164 is the target. JP Morgan this week's. Come on, you can do it, Toss. All right, this week's 160s are juicy. They're about $1. $3 ATR. We can move $3. We've already moved. We've moved 2. Yeah, this week's 160s look good. Going out to monthly expirations. Those 165s have got a lot of open interest both on the call and the put side. It's within 2 strikes of where we're at now. I would look for potential pin there or at 160. You could play the 160, 165 vertical for about $1.80. Potential $3.25 profit. So that looks good. I like those 160s for next week. I'll throw those on the list for watching out. Okay. All right, getting back to it. Right, it just hit 160, I know. But we need to get above this. So looking at the 15-minute chart, the Ready or the Squeeze Pro is doing that slingshot effect. This yellow candle is a reversal candle. Ready and Fire's got a mid-thrust buy on the 15-minute chart. However, this 200 SMA is going to provide resistance. We got to get above and close above it. Right? That'll confirm that it's no longer resistance, it's become support. We get above that, like I said, we've got immediate resistance at 161, 162.50. But with these giant Hulk candles, yeah, I see that we might get some movement on it. All right. The next one I wanted to look at was ENPH. ENPH, I think I went over this the other day. It's finally making that move we're looking for. So ENPH was one, and then 10B is the next one I wanted to look at. Alright, so I'm upper left chart. ENPH on the 1 minute price action is currently trading with the algorithm. The algo is pointed up, which is good. We like to see that. Right, the algo is currently pointed upwards. ENPH on the 15-minute chart, I've got one block trade level in the last 30 days. It's a normal block trade level. Price looks like as if the algo is respecting that block trade level. It's just kind of bouncing around on it. It's at the 150.50 level, so obviously that's a nice psychological computer-generated trading level. We have price action trading with the algorithm. It looks as if though you would want to say that this is bullish divergence. However, if you notice, all of the divergence gets played out, right? This one here got played out here, right? This divergence here got played out here. So if you see that price is trading with the algo. So there is a gap that needs to be filled from 154 to 174. That's a nice $20 gap. So the algo is currently trading with price action. So we need to go to our charts and look at ENPH on our charts. ENPH on the daily. So this was that level that I said we needed to maintain the other day. It's the demand zone. We failed that. We actually dropped back down. Looks as if though we filled the previous gap on the way back from November of last year. So whatever this level here, let me just draw it. 108, 108.50, 108, 108.75. Pretty significant support level. The MACD is currently neutral or negative but increasing. We're about to curl over and curl up with our RSI. The volume turbo VZO is looking to get back into a neutral area. We are negatively stacked on our EMAs, and we're below the 50 and the 200, right? So we're below a lot of stuff. This could be a potential bottom, right? Let me just draw the old support line here. 108.88 is what the point was. We're currently trading at 120, right at 120, which is this, gets into this cloud of demand zone. So from 120 to 127, it would be the trading range target for today. See how we popped up and we've just been all day yesterday. We smacked into the top of this supply zone, or it was a demand zone, now it's a supply zone, right? This is definitely resistance. So however it's squeezing, we're getting squeezed, super squeezed, right? Bollinger Band squeeze, stochastic RSI squeeze. We've got a moving average squeeze that's happening. If we pop above, I'm going to call it 120, 123. Once that energy releases, that 127.50 level is our next point of resistance. So the same premise, we had a nice green reversal candle. RSI is oversold but increasing. We need to get some good volume coming in to break us above this 8 EMA on the 50 or on the 4-hour chart. So a reversion to the 34 puts us at 136. A reversion to the 21 puts us at 130. So we've got a nice $8 move, at least $8 move to just revert to the mean. So if this downtrend continues, we have an opportunity to play the reversion to the 21 and the 34. Because typically what will happen is price will come down, as you can see here in this area. We sold off, sold off, sold off. We needed to come back up, and we reverted to this. Whoa, that's a weird. Don't use that drawing tool very often. Sorry about that. We reverted to the mean, which is this yellow and orange line, 21 and 34. And then we sold off again. So if this is a true reversal, we'll need to break the 8 EMA. I'm going to play to the cloud, the 120 to the 127. If we can close above 127 or 128, sorry, 127, 127.75, we close above that. Definitely have opportunity to get back up into some of these higher numbers. All right, looks like overnight we had a nice little pop from 108 to 120. Holy cow. All right, what does this mean? Do they have news? Let me just, hold on, let me look into this a little bit more. I don't have any specific news. We came up, we smacked into that resistance at 122. Got above the 200 SMA for a minute. Couldn't hold it. We're looking at a 50-200 SMA crossover, which is a golden cross. Alright, so let me look at this objectively. If we were to just play this last little run, we could come down and test 117 or 115. So test a support at 115.43. Break that, we're going back down to 107. If we maintain that, we've got a nice $5 run up into 122. Options chain for that. 115 is support up to 122. Right, when this opens up, those 130s, I'm going to look out into next week on these. 125, 130 vertical is within my risk tolerance, right? Just add that. However, for me to really become a player in this, I'm either going to play the 115, 117, run back up to 122, right? Just a quick day trade, or I'm going to wait for the break of 128 to play the one more time. 124.50 break. I'll play the 125, 130 vertical. Alrighty. And let's see. Going back to my charts. Next one I wanted to look at was 10B. Or do I have? Yeah, I've got 10B up. So 10B on the. I'm looking at my lower screen now, my lower FlowTrade screen. 10B on the intraday, the 1 minute chart. Looks like we had a lot of profit taking. We came down, we found some support. The algo found some support. It's currently curled up and increasing. Right? We would like that to continue its upward direction to complete this basic algo divergence, right? Get back up into here. On the 15-minute chart, we don't really have any block trades to speak of within the last 30 days, so nothing there is going to provide any of that support that we're looking for. We've got, wait a minute, what is this business? Whoa, that's strange. All right. The algo's net buying. Looks like we found a nice bottom here. We've got a little bit of trendline support. We've made lower highs, or excuse me, higher lows and higher highs over the last couple of days. So I would consider this an uptrend. The algo is currently very slightly curled up. I don't know if you can't see it, but it's barely curled up, which would indicate a next move upwards. 10B on the chart. So it's very slight, but there is that uptrend. Right, this here, basically. Nice move yesterday from 36 to 38. We'd look for that momentum to continue Looks as if though the 2-day squeeze may have fired off. We've got a 3-day mid compression squeeze. We need to get above this 200 SMA on the daily. However, we've got to restack our SMAs or moving averages positive. Currently, nice positive VWAP. $1.70, about $1.75 ATR. 40 is going to be a nice psychological level that we're going to run into. Price action 39.90 is what price action says. However, just grab these guys here. Yeah, so 39.64. We're currently trading at 40, so that was no longer valid. So we're really going to fight with this $40.50 level, because the 200 SMA, the 618 retracement, the simple moving average squeeze. So the 50 and the 200 are basically going like this. They're going to squeeze and something's going to pop. Hopefully it pops out to the long side, right? Overnight, buying, buying, buying. Ran into that previous resistance at 38.95. The ask is at 40. Oh, sorry, go back one more time. We got a nice buy signal popping off, so all our super trend is all stacked positive. We've got positive and increasing MACD. RSI is buying. Bollinger Band squeeze looks like it may have just fired off, so we'd like to get that pop out and over this Fibonacci level at 39.95. A break and a close above 39.95 puts me in a buying position. So that's a 50 SMA. Squeeze is firing on the 2-day. We had a golden cross on our MACD. Market extension is buying. The Ridian Fire is getting ready to create a mid-thrust buy on the 4-hour. My target's going to be that $44 level, which is a 200 SMA on the 15. I don't want that. I want this. So 40. I'm going to look at the 40s, right? They're pretty. The chain's jacked up on these right now. Let it shake out in the morning for like the first 15 to 30. I'm looking at the $40 next or monthly expiration calls, and that's for 10B. Next one I wanted to look at was Stitch Fix. Was it? Yeah. All right, I'm going to go through these last ones pretty quickly here. Palantir. Kathy Wood just bought a $53 million worth of Palantir, I believe. So obviously that's going to be a nice momentum play. Stitch Fix on the 1-minute chart. This algo is trading with price action almost vertically, so they're net buying, right? And this is Stitch Fix, net buying on Stitch Fix. As you can see, the algo is curled vertical. Let me just do this real quick. So we've got uptrend support. We're making higher lows, higher highs. We've ran into some resistance here at this level. We've got no block trades that are providing that resistance. The algo is straight up almost vertical and trading with price action. This divergence is played out here, right? So what we're really looking at is we're looking at this move starting here, right? This move here. All of this is played out. This is a nice confluence of the algo and price action, right? As you can see. So Stitch Fix on the daily. We've got, all right, $4 ATR to a daily 2-day squeeze. Currently negative VWAP. Not exactly sure where these price levels came from, so I don't want to use them as any. Anyway, so we're currently at a previous demand zone that's providing resistance If we can get above and close above the 42.50 level, we're currently at 41.75. We can look at all this consolidation with the MACD and the RSI over the last couple weeks. The point for support is 38.13 to 39, which is this, you can't really see a little doji level. Let me just throw this supply zone right here from way back in the day. Seems to still be valid. We came down, we tested that, maintained it as support. Neutral but increasing MACD. We've got a 50-200 SMA crossover. Not the best for the stock. We're currently stacked negative on our EMA, so I'm looking for basically a reversion to the 21 or 34. So 44.21 to 47. That's on the daily. Looking at the overnight, look at this steady buying, right? See that angle? That matches our angle of the algo, right? Steady buying. 42.75 is the point of resistance that we'll need to break and confirm a support. 42.75. So this is a bullish harami, basically. If I'm correct, it's a nice solid green bar. That is a strong bullish indicator. Looks as if though we were able to close above it on the 4-hour. Another bullish indication, right? We've got MACD positive golden cross that happened yesterday. Actually overnight. So continued buying pressure to get through the 50 SMA at the $45 level. It's on the 4-hour. Overnight we popped, came up, hit that resistance of 42.75, sold off, reverted to the 34 EMA. Our 50 is about to cross the 200, so that nice golden cross again. This histogram bullish divergence, where the histogram's going down but price is going up. What'll happen is we'll need something to fire off to thrust us over that 42.75. From 42.75 to, what did I say I was going after? All right, 42.75 is resistance. Looking at next week's. All right, next week's. We break 42.75, puts us at all right. The options chain for this week is kind of wacky jacked up, super illiquid. However, going out to next week or even into the 28th. Let me look at these June ones real quick. All right, going out till June, the June 50s are pretty decent. You could do the 50-55 vertical for pennies, basically. If you wanted to look for something out into next week, like I said, we need to break above and close at 42.75, which puts us at 43.50. So 44s for next week are pretty decent. I would look for an influx in volume on those in the morning. Make sure that you have some volume in those, because if you want, it doesn't matter what options contract you have. If you can't get out of it, then it's not going to do you any good. All right, that was Stitch Fix. So we did Stitch Fix. All right, the last one on my list is Palantir. I'm going to reduce the noise with these block trades and only go back to the last 5 days. This is a high momentum stock. This is a, it's talked about all the time. They had great earnings, blowout earnings, positive. I mean, this is the company that doesn't care about earnings because they care about servicing their customers. What that means is there's a lot of companies that'll pump their numbers to make the investors happy. However, Palantir is servicing their customers. Amazing earnings. I may do a review of the earnings because it was super positive. Kathy Wood and ARK, I think they bought like 100. She bought a lot of it, 58 million or 158 million. I think, don't quote me on that, but that's what I read someplace. However, playing the chart in front of me, looking at the intraday. I call the intraday the 1 minute chart, so just know that going forward. So we've got strong net buying all day yesterday. The algo is currently trading with price action. It's curled upwards. Block trade levels coming in for the last 5 days. We've got a dark pool one at 1864. I doubt we'll get back down to that. We've got a cluster right around the $19 level of regular block trades. Those can be seen with this little rectangle I'm going to draw right here in red. Right, look at that nice tight cluster. That's going to be my support. So 19. That's 19's the point for support. Good reversal on the algo on the 15-minute chart. You can see that here. We've got a dark pool level coming in at 1864. Don't think we'll hit that. We filled the gap. We broke our downtrend resistance. Right, all of these positives happening for Palantir. Looks like we're basing a little bit with some uptrend resistance. Look at this flag that's formed. You see this? Beep. See that? It's a flag. When that flag pops, we're gonna go. All right, Palantir on the daily. Nope. Palantir on the daily, not Stitch Fix on the daily. All right, Palantir on the daily. Let me get rid of all this crap. Nice Hulk candle after earnings. Looks like we've got a newly formed 50-day SMA that's going to provide resistance. We're currently trading at the $20 level. We've got, look, I just got to draw some lines on here real quick. 2115 to 2345 is a previous demand zone, and prices respected that demand zone throughout the course of Palantir until it finally broke recently at the beginning of this month. So that demand zone is now a supply zone. We have a previous demand zone coming in at 1598 to at 1706. 1706 is the point for support, right? Looking at shorter term targets, I'm going to go. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the point for Fibonacci. Like this level here. Alright, that lines up, that lines up, that lines up. Alright, so what I've done is I drew a fib level from previous high to current low. That through a 618 retracement, or excuse me, yeah, 618 retracement right at the 34 EMA on the daily. That's going to be a pretty significant area of resistance. Also, this 2163 is the 50% retracement. We're currently trading at $20. Nice, good psychological round number. Great way to start the day. However, that's not even a reversion to the 8 EMA, which is at 2065. So what I'd like to see happen is for us to close above 20. Right, we need to maintain a close above 20. If we do that, then we can look to play the move back up to previous resistance. We've got some pretty significant symmetry here at 2150, 2271 for a $26 target. Palantir, I'm targeting the 26s. All right, looking at this week's, so it's already starting to get a ton of volume. So those 25s for, okay. This can be tricky. With the options chain as jacked as it is, we want it to flush out for the first 15 minutes, right? After that, I would look to, if it maintains that 21 or that $20 support level, I'd like to grab load up on the 25s for this week. I mean, load up on them. Or if I wanted to play it a little safe, I would just go ahead and grab the at the money calls. So the 20 or the 21 at the money calls for this week. This would be a day trade. I would trade it into let's see. If I grab the 21s, I would trade it up into 23.50. I feel like we're going to get into some resistance there. Contrarian, right? I've got to start looking at things from both sides. Nice pop up over after earnings, right? Looks like we're selling off, taking profit right at that $21 level. So 21 is, like I said, 21.15 is previous resistance. We're coming down. We broke through our EMAs. We may have to use the 1950s for support. If we can maintain that 1950 support, that move back up to 23. That'd be a pretty nice run. Longer term, 25 is the point for pinning. 21.50 is the next. Excuse me, 22. Yeah, 22 is another significant level. $2 ATR from 2022. So market makers expected pinning level at 22 for the monthly expirations. I'm definitely I gotta note this. Hold on. Oh crap! I hate it when I have caps lock and I try to type something in the chat. People get mad at me. Trade all day, baby. Okay. All right, that's Palantir. So just to confirm, Palantir, we've got to maintain support at 1950, break of 1950, and I'm going to wait for this to rebase, right? It may come down to 17, 18, whatever, but that 200 SMA is going to be pretty significant. So looking at this is just a daily, right? That 618 retracement at 1922 is the 200 SMA. So my base is 1920 for a move up to 2150, then 23, then 24. All right. I got through the ones I wanted to go through. I'm going to burn through these last ones just looking at the algo, so everybody has an opportunity to see what's going on with some of these larger cap stocks. And I just want to make sure I've got the 15-minute chart pulled up on all of these. All right, we're going to pull up Etsy, Square, NVIDIA, Tesla. All right, as far as the algo is concerned, looking at Etsy, we've got a really nice upside gap fill to look for. We're going to watch the push towards 181.50, right? There's that gap fill coming in, right? 181.50, a break at that, and we've got a gap fill up to 185. Block trade support at 166.50. Looking at Square, we bounced off the 200-day moving average yesterday. We're in a 30-minute squeeze. I'm watching for it to push back up towards 230. Right? We've got support at 217.50. NVIDIA. I'm watching for an upside. So the algo is currently selling. We've got bearish divergence on that. If the market opens up pretty weak, this bearish divergence will come into play, and I'm looking for a fade to 550. Our key is to hold that 560 level, which is also the 50-day moving average. I went through and reviewed these earlier. Tesla, it's bouncing at the 200 moving average, 200-day. There's a squeeze where I'm looking for a break above 628 for a run to 650. All right, that's it for me. My name is Dark Bull Algo. Thank you for joining me. I got this mic set up. I don't know why I've got it set up right here, and then I lean to the side. I should be back over here in the middle. Jeez Louise. All right. So when you say the market makers are pinning at 22, wouldn't that mean that they pay the most? Shouldn't they be pinning lower? Okay. Let me just jump into this real quick. So Chevy Drop Top. I love that name. I really love that name. All right. One of my favorite rappers is Yellow Wolf. I don't know. Anyway, I digress. All right. So the theory behind this is this. All right. So market makers, when they pin something, all right. Let me answer the pinning question first. So if they pin this at 22, they don't have to pay it. Right? They don't have to pay these $21,000 contracts, because when you buy the contract, let's say you bought it for $1. So you buy the 22s for $1, your break even is actually 23, right? So if they pin it at 22, they don't have to pay out these 16,000 contracts because somebody bought it for let's say 50 cents. So the break even point on this $22 contract is $22.50, right? So pinning, there's a couple stocks that pin really well. I mean, Facebook, Netflix, Apple used to pin really well. So I think BA also pins really well. So if I bought this $22 call right here for 36 cents, my break even is $22.36. So if it pins at 22.15, right, I lose money. If I bought the $22 put at 50 cents, my break even is $22.50. Does that make sense? Yes, max pain theory. It's tough on highly volatile, big moving stocks like this. It's pretty easy with algo traded stocks like Facebook. I'll tell you what. Let me go create a video on it. We'll go into it a little bit more. There's an art to it. You can't look at something that's 6 strikes away and say, oh, it's going to pin just because it's got the open interest. You really have to look at the expected move, which is $2. We got to look at the within 1 or 2 strikes above or below. And currently we're at 20, looking 2 strikes up. Those 21s have got a ton of open interest on both sides. So potentially, the 21 was where they pin it at. Now, if it moves massively today, right, then yeah, we gotta have to readjust it. So that's pinning. Real quick to answer the question on the algos. So the Etsy algo is trading with price action. It looks as if though there's a slight bearish divergence on this. Let me just look at the 1 minute. See how it's trading with price action on the 1 minute, and the algo is pretty much vertical. I wouldn't be shocked to see this Etsy algo start curling back to like this. I can't draw it right now. This algo to curl back up, to move back up towards this block trade at 156, right? And then for its next move upwards. Again, price action on Square, the algo has got divergence. However, it's trading with price action, right? It's moving with it. This divergence on NVIDIA is significant in that price action's polar opposite of the algorithm. Price is up, the algo is down. So that is bearish divergence, right? Tesla is trading with price action. See how it's moving with it? Right, so we're looking at this giant flag on Tesla. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't have block trades on for that. Sorry. This is a Tesla 1 minute, by the way. Look at this giant flag that Tesla's formed. See this? Price is trading with the algo. Looking at it on the 15-minute chart. See how it's curled up and increasing? Tesla's got nice downtrend support, and it's formed that flag. This algo is actually curled up right here. It's really hard for you to see. Let me see if I can make it bigger. All right. And then I really do have to run. I've got some positions I got to manage. All right. See how it's trading with price action, and the algo is curled up. So I definitely like to see this bull flag break on Tesla. Right, that's a nice strong bull flag. There's a gap to fill right here as well. So a break and a close above 630? 628. So we break that 628. We can definitely revert back to the this is 650, 670. Okay. All right, I got to run. Thanks for joining me. Chevy Drop Top. Looks like you're new. Really appreciate the feedback today. Again, my name is Dark Pool Algo. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications. I stream every morning, Monday through Friday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'll also do a video in the afternoon for Watchlist, and I do a weekend Watchlist building session. You can get that through our free newsletter at darkpoolcharts.com. You can also sign up for your free trial at FlowTrade over there. So go ahead and take advantage of that. Let me know if you have any questions, and happy trading. Stay safe, and remember,